Hey there nation, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and happy Boxing Day to the international community. Now I know my video I said earlier that I wasn't going to have anything released over the Christmas holidays, but I really couldn't help myself, and the reason why is because this morning, when I checked out the Warhammer community page, it says that Warhammer the Old World, the Tomb Kings of Khemri are revealed, and it shows all the first wave launches for Warhammer the Old World, and I could not believe what I was seeing when I saw this. I absolutely freaked out, and I decided I have to do a real quick video on it real quick. So let's talk about what it says. It says, fun fact, Boxing Day gets its name from an ancient necromantic practice in which the skeletons of the dead were removed from their coffins ready for reanimation, which is pretty hilarious. It says, which is appropriate because here at Warhammer, we have more than a few skeletons ready to take out of our closets. So it's the Tomb Kings of Khemri and a bunch of guys in some metal trousers. So this looks amazing with the new launch waves of boxes they look like they're doing, which is really cool because it looks like what they're doing is actually there's no single box set. As it says here, it goes, there's no single launch box for Warhammer the Old World. Instead, there are two separate and massive core army box sets, each containing a full 1,200, 550 point army with dozens of all plastic miniatures each. On top of that, you also get a complete 352 page hardback Warhammer the Old World rulebook, a 4-page reference sheet, 20 d6 dice, 1 6-sided scatter die, yay, the scatter die is back, 3 weapon templates, 2 classic red measuring sticks, and transfer sheets. So that's kind of interesting. I think it's kind of cool that they're doing that because that way you can have like full-blown armies right off the bat, which I think is kind of cool. And I hope that it's a little bit less expensive because of that, but we'll see exactly what the price point is on that later on. So it looks like this is the Tomb Kings edition of it, and that looks absolutely fantastic. Looks like you have a full, complete army, which is really nice to see. It says the Lich Priests have exhumed a horde of 93 Tomb King miniatures, including the magnificent new Lich Priest on Necromunda Bone Dragon, which can additionally build a Tomb King on foot, or be built instead of a Tomb King on Bone Dragon. The rest is enough to make a classic kit to create an army fit for Citra himself with 40 skeleton warriors, 32 skeleton archers, 16 skeleton horsemen, and 3 skeleton chariots. So it looks like if we do with our core situation, it looks like you'll have enough everything you'll need to make a really good core army for whatever size that you want to play at in future games of Warhammer the Old World, which is really nice as well. Hopefully, because you only have one army with the booklet, it's a little bit cheaper than other box sets, but that remains to be seen. And then we have the Kingdom of Bretonnia edition one, which looks fantastic as well. It says here, it says, raise your banners to the Lady of the Kingdom of Bretonnia box set, which contains 76 miniatures. There's a splendid new Lord on the Royal Pegasus, can be built as a Duke or Baron, so that's kind of nice there. We also packed the lance formation of 12 Bretonnian Knights of the Realm, 36 Bretonnian Masters of Arms, 24 Peasant Bowmen, 2 Defense Stakes, 3 Pegasus Knights, and a Kingdom of Bretonnia transfer sheet with 176 transfers. So that looks like it's pretty good too. Looks like if you're able to do this, you'll be able to actually have your core requirements pretty much fulfilled for any level that you want to play at with Bretonnians, which is actually quite nice. Actually, looking back at it, I'm pretty sure these box sets will be just as expensive as normal box sets, and the reason why is because you get full-blown armies instead of 2 armies, which I guess that kind of makes sense that way. So, but that's okay, because on this channel, I have more than enough miniatures. I have 16 armies in my collection for Warhammer Fantasy, so I really don't need the armies. But what I was really excited about was this part here. It says Warhammer the Old World, Fantasy Battles, and the World of Legend Rulebook, which says here that it says, you can see we have our beautiful looking hardback book here. It says the rulebook will also be available separately. This weighty 352-page tome features over 70 pages of background of the World of Legend, plus core and advanced rules for the game, an explanation of the winds of magic and rules for casting spells, a gallery of armies painted by the Many Studios, and rules for building armies and setting up your battlefields. It'll also be released the digital e-publication version for easy access to the rules on the go. I'm going to go with the ebook version just because I'm running out of room on my bookshelves anyways, and so I can easily reference it, and probably it's a little bit cheaper too. So that is definitely something I'm gonna need to buy for myself because I have enough miniatures. I just need the rules is what I basically need. And this is another thing that also gets me kind of excited too. It says Forces of Fantasy and Ravening Hordes. Rules for all 9 factions in the game will be available at launch in one of 2 tomes covering the Forces of Good and Evil, Forces of Fantasy and Ravening Hordes respectively. This is the one that I am going to need for myself, and the reason why is because, like I said before, all I need are the rules. So this is kind of nice little one-stop shop for everything. I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is that they're probably going to actually release individual army books later on. I'm just sure that they will, because why wouldn't they? This kind of reminds me of when they did that relaunch with Warhammer 40,000. Was it 8th edition, I think, where they basically redid all the rules to make them more like Age of Sigmar, and they had like big, huge tomes for all the factions, and I think that's pretty much what they're going to do for this initial launch to see how successful it is. And I think what they're going to do is they're probably going to release individual army books later on. I do like this turquoise color. That is a nice color that they use on these books. It says Forces of Fantasy is a 92-page book in the hardback EPUB formats, perfect, covering 5 factions: the Dwarven Mountain Holds, the Empire Man, the Kingdom of Bretonnia, the Wood Elf Realms, and the High Elf Realms, which are all the armies that I have in my collection. Each army gets an introduction, a gallery of miniatures, a grand army composition list, a complete set of unit profiles, so you'll no need for a separate army book to play, special rules, magic items, unique spells. That is great. As well as Ravening Hordes for evil factions. This will 160-page hardback book, or EPUB, containing similar material for Orc and Goblin tribes, the Warriors of Chaos, the Beastmen Brayherds, and the Tomb Kings of Kimmery. So it looks like there's no undead vampire counts one yet. That's kind of sad, but that's okay though, because I could easily just pretend that my vampire counts army are Tomb Kings for all purposes, so I'll just do that instead. And it says you'll need the main old world rulebook to use either book, so that part is kind of nice, so I'll just get those probably is what I'll do. Now it says we have Arcane Journals, which looks kind of interesting. It says, in addition to these hefty hardback books, there are Arcane Journals, softback books for each faction that expanded out with all new history, heraldry, maps, special characters, including a certain undead emperor, magic items, spells, historical scenario, and thematic armies of infamy, which will let you select armies of very differing compositions. So it looks like these are like more your esoteric factions that they showed earlier. It says, in addition, Arcane Journal Kings of Bretonnia has rules for armies of the Bretonnia Exiles and Erichi Crusades. Arcane Journal Tomb Kings of Kimmery provides the Nekhaharan Royal Host and the Mortuary Cults. It is important to know that you won't require an Arcane Journal to play your chosen faction. All the units and army rules are contained in Ravening Hordes or Forces of Fantasy, but they do provide a trove of extra options and extra depth for discerning generals. So I might skip out on these. All I need is the basic rules, so that's what I'll probably go with. And it says the Arcane Journals for the Kingdom of Bretonnia and Tomb Kings of Kimmery will arrive at launch alongside their army releases, with those for other factions following in the future. So pretty cool there. And then it says, not wanting to be outdone by the self-important short-lived mortals of Bretonnia, the venal and power-hungry royalty of Kimmery have a handful of other new miniatures up their handy sleeves. We have Nekaf, Emissary of Cetra, so it looks like we have a brand new character miniature. That looks absolutely fantastic. I love the emaciated skeletal mummy look that they have going on, and the armor looks really cool as well. It says Cetra the Imperishable has accumulated a truly prodigious number of epithets and achievements over the long centuries of his own life, and this seemingly endless list of titles and victories are recounted fully by his loyal servant Nekaf before each battle. Luckily, animated skeletons are very patient. Armed with enchanted flail of conquered kings, Nekaf, Emissary of Citra, pulverized those who refused to kneel before his immortal liege. It looks like we have the Tomb King's Daddle Standard Bearer, which looks fantastic as well. These guys are really flail heavy in this army, which is kind of interesting as well. Royal Heralds are the personal champions of Nekharan royalty, mighty combatants in life who retain their strength and undeath despite their withered forms. The graves of these champions often bear banners featuring the personal heraldry of their master, inspiring the deathly legions that accompany them into battle, so that is quite cool. And it looks like we got new Tomb Swarms. These actually look really cool. They look like little scarabs with bones and stuff inside of it. That looks really sick. And it says the Lich Priests of the Mortuary Cults are well versed in the dark arts of necromancy, and they bolster the armies of their masters with withering tomb swarms. Comprise the remanded corpses of scorpions, scarabs, and all other critters manifest in the necropolises of Kimmery. These shifting, swirling masses can overpower well-trained combatants with a storm of bites and stings. On top of all these, a full range of classic Kimmery miniatures will be returning to bolster the forces. Return this article, with much more to come in the future. The Bretonnians and Tomb Kings are just the first 2 of 9 factions arriving in the world of legend. The rules for other 7 will be available at launch in the Forces of Fantasy and Ravening Hordes. Look out for miniature releases for the other 7 in due course. Don't worry if you're more of a follower of Ashut or interpreter of the Great Plan. Legacy Army List PDFs for the other 7 factions for the Warhammer Fantasy Battles will be available shortly after launch. Fantastic! All that's left now is to reveal that the pre-order date for this avalanche of World of Legend. We've got a suspicion it will be quite soon. Keep an eye on the Warhammer community to find out exactly when. So that is cool. These look absolutely fantastic. I love all the miniatures that we have. I love the fact they're releasing these books all at once, which is going to be kind of nice to actually have those. Now I know it's kind of sad for the Legacy guys; they won't get everything all at once when their stuff comes out, but that's okay for me. It's okay because I do have a lot of different armies I can choose, and after all, if I have to, I'll just proxy things if I have to, so that's not a big deal for me to do that. I know for some people they get kind of annoyed about that kind of thing, but yeah, what do I care? I'm a basic wargamer, and I'm also a cheapskate. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. This looks absolutely fantastic. This is a great reveal for Boxing Day, and I'm super excited to see exactly what ends up happening. So tell me, what are your guys' thoughts? What do you think about the new Old World launch? Are you excited for it? Are you not excited for it? What are some pros and cons that you're seeing? please let me know in the comment box down below. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this new product coming out. So that's good for those of you guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest greatest hobby news related to this channel. That's good for this week, guys. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out and stay classy.